Good morning and welcome to Spartan Spotlight, where we bring you all things regarding AU athletics. I'm Loretta Johnson. Today I will be talking to Chad Trudeau, Aurora University's strength and conditioning coach, as well as Coach Ryan Chapman, men's and women's cross-country coach, and Christina Luptak, senior cross-country runner. We also have a short feature story about Emily Paul and her senior year as a cross-country runner. All sports teams have been working hard in the weight room to prepare for their sports season. Aurora University's very own Chad Trudeau is the man behind the scene of all these lifting workouts. I am here with Chad today, strength and conditioning coach, to hear about all the hard work he does for the teams. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Doing well. So tell me, as the head of the strength and conditioning program, what impact do you feel these workouts have on the student athletes?
Well, we have two main goals athletically. We try to improve sports performance and then reduce the risk of injury seen. And the way we do that is by staying very close with our coaches, obviously, and they are on the front line kind of, and they see the needs of their teams in competition and practices, and then we stay very close with our athletic training staff. And they keep us up to date with any kind of injuries that occur, and then we create our programs from there. So
cool.
Not only athletically does it help them, but it also helps with motivational levels, confidence, and things like that.
Awesome, and also too to be a better athlete. So how do you manage to create the sports workouts for every single sports team, both men and women?
Well, we have to be very organized. I'm the only full-time strength and conditioning professional down there. We do most of our stuff during the summer season when everyone is back home. But again, we stay very close with our athletic training staff, our coaches, and then make any tweaks during the year that we need to after talking with them. It's a science, exercise science, that's why they call it that. There's no perfect cookie cutter workout for everybody. Each situation is a little bit different, so we have to make minor tweaks here and there.
And that's awesome that the coaches help you out as well.
Absolutely.
So the entire weight room was renovated about 2 years ago, right? What help did you have in the design of that?
It was a real cool project. Came in, we had an outdated weight room, to say the least,
Yeah.
for those of you who remember what it used to look like. And it was really a big liability for our athletic department. So it was one thing that we wanted to address from a safety concern, but also from an athletic performance concern. So I was very fortunate to play an active role in not only the layout, but the equipment that would be coming in, because really we were going to be the ones using it on a daily basis. So it was really a fun project to help out with.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, it looks great. Obviously, I saw the old one, so it's awesome. How do you maintain that? How do you make it stay clean? And
well, we work very closely with our custodians. We also have our student workers in there that are in there anytime the weight room's open. And then my interns and I, we have a checklist that we maintain on a weekly and monthly basis as well.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that definitely helps out. So I know that you have created a high school program, strength and conditioning program. Mm-hmm. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's really just to get kids more involved with the college environment, also to create any kind of good habits for them. If they aren't working out on a regular basis, it's getting them a little bit more knowledge so that they can go to their own gyms or go back home and practice these on their own. But also getting them exposed to our facilities, some of our coaches and stuff like that, just getting them here on campus is something that will help transfer them and get them ready for that college experience.
Is it just some of the high schools around the area?
Yeah, mostly. It can be for anybody. We obviously will house people in the dorms if we need to, but really it's just kind of reached out in the close vicinity.
Now I know that you have some interns that work for you. Do they help out with the program as well?
They do. So for those of the people that are going to be staying around, I talk with them and make sure they're certified in what they need to be, and have them help out as much as they can.
Cool. So I know that you are no stranger to AU's campus. You were a graduate. Tell me a little bit about how your experience and why you decided to come back to AU.
Really, I was really lucky. After I graduated here in 2009, I went out to the University of Dayton in Ohio, got my master's. Was fortunate enough to work with some of their sports teams there. Came back here and started working personal training, and this position actually opened up along with another one at NIU. And for whatever reasons, this one worked out to be the best choice for me, or the best option for me, and I was really excited because I have been an athlete going through the Division III process and stuff like that. Wanted to give back and help develop the athletes that I had been around.
So what does a Spartan mean to you?
I'm really, really big on loyalty. So when I think about Aurora University, I think about Spartans, I think about loyalty. It's the people that make Aurora University a special place for me, and everybody here has been super loyal and been there for me when I needed them.
Awesome. So I know that you played basketball when you were here. Really, really good, right? So tell me about that.
I was very fortunate to be on a great team with great players and great coaches. And basketball is a team sport, and I'm sure a lot of other people who have, had good or successful times in their sporting careers can say that, they were surrounded by great people, great players, great coaches. So.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. So what advice would you have for any student athletes that are trying to work out, trying to get into playing sports? What advice do you have for them?
Right. The biggest thing I preach to my athletes is effort. You're going to get out of it what you put into it. And that stays true in the weight room, that stays true in academics, professionally. If your heart's not into it, it's going to show. And that's something that a lot of professionals, a lot of employers are looking for now. So I would just preach that you give your max effort on anything that you do.
For sure. I know that you've helped me out, and I know you've helped out a lot of students. So thank you for coming on. It was awesome to hear from you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Now we have a short feature story here where Emily Paul will tell us about the bittersweet moments of her senior year as a cross-country runner.
Since high school, my freshman year, I joined the cross-country team. I've always played sports since I was little. I did track in middle school, and I guess the high school kids were like, "Oh, you need to join the cross-country team. You run the mile, so it's just like it." And I was like, I don't know about 3 miles, because 1 mile is like at that time was a really long distance. So I guess they influenced my decision. I wanted to play soccer. I ended up playing on a traveling team during cross country. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to stay in shape doing cross country. Like personal goals, I guess, just the ability to get better every day. I guess that's a really big motivation for anyone in running. Setting new personal records and just beating them. So it's really fun to be able to do that. I've always played sports, and I don't remember a time really, unless I was in grade school, that I wasn't a student athlete. So it's always been a part of my life to be a student athlete. I guess to be a better teammate and to be just a better person overall. It's definitely a team sport. You have to encourage other people, even though they're runners. Everyone's going through like the same, just tough time while running. So you know that other girls are struggling like you are, and all you have to do is just motivate yourself and motivate them, because like you have to want others' success as much as you want your success. I haven't really most difficult moment. I can just remember during races where I just wanted it to end, but you just have to push through. I guess every race is a difficult moment, but just pushing through and keeping on is what keeps you going. So no real difficult moments. Favorite moment, I would have to say being All-American in the steeplechase last year. It was kind of a big surprise to me. I wanted to do it, and it was my goal, but just it happened, and I was like so thrilled and surprised. So that's definitely been my favorite moment. Yes, I do plan on to keep running. I don't see myself not running, but I also want to be a exercise physiologist also. So I'm really excited to continue running and continue studying also.
It's really cool to hear about the passion that Emily has for running and staying motivated during her races. Speaking of cross country, I am now here with men and women's head coach Ryan Chapman and Christina Leptak to hear about their awesome NACC championship win this past weekend. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Great.
Good. Congratulations.
Thank
How
you.
does it feel to win another championship?
Christina?
It's absolutely great. Like, we have such a strong team this year, especially going into regionals. It's nice that we had so many girls in the top 10 and able to represent AU this year.
Yeah, I know. I heard it went really well. How did that feel for you?
Well, it's fun. I mean, it's 3 in a row. We had some goals this year. It's not just go out and win, but how can we do it? The girls set the record for lowest score this year. We scored 25 points in the meet. We had 7 girls finish in the top 16, so it was a really solid win. So that's really exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how did you motivate the team to stay competitive as the conference championship kind of came forward?
Well, the girls team doesn't really need that much motivation on my part. You know, they have a lot of, they're very, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? They're self-motivated. I mean, they have a lot of goals that they want to get. You know, they have their own little huddles outside of my huddles, you know, around practice and before meets. You know, after tasting nationals last year, being so close to getting it, I mean, these girls really were focusing over the summer of coming in this year. And I mean, I certainly, you know, give them pep talks, and we have a pretty motivating cheer before the race. I asked the girls, you know, who are the prettiest, who are the smartest, who are the fastest, and they say we are, and I think that, you know, reminds them that they are, you know, pretty and fast and smart. But honestly, they're so self-motivated, you know, and that's the fun thing about this crew. I don't feel like I have to remind them every day why we're here. The gun goes off and they really get after it.
I think being told you're pretty might help too. Yeah. How did you stay motivated as an individual runner?
Individually, since it's my last year, I really wanted to like end on like a good note, and I really want our team to make nationals. So like that's what I kept motivating myself. I'd write it on my arm, be like, nationals, nationals, nationals. Like, we got to do it. It's our last year.
Right. So with it being an individual sport, how do you rely on the teammates? How do you guys support each other?
Well, cross country is actually a really intimate sport since we spend so much time together. So we actually learn to be like a family and support each other through the good and the bad. So if you're having a bad day, it's really nice to know that your teammates will help, like push you through it, push you through a bad race, like remind you why you're doing it.
And there are a lot of you, so I'm sure
those
days come around often.
Yeah.
I know that conference was held at Oakhurst, and that's technically kind of a home advantage for you guys. So how do you think that impacted the win?
Well, for me, it was really nice because we've done those trails. We know where there's like mud, there's turns and everything. So going into the race, you really like have a picture of it in your head, and you can maybe take that turn a little bit easier than a girl who doesn't know where she's going. So it definitely helped.
Yeah, when you host your own conference meets, there's definitely the advantage of not having to wake up for that early bus ride. You know, you have, you know, your legs are with you. The negative to hosting your meet is sometimes you don't get up for it like you might. You know, you go through the motions a little too slowly. You know, your breakfast is eaten, you know, very calmly, and you know, you're a bit more relaxed and comfortable. That can be good and bad in your races. You just have to make sure that once you get to the course, you know, you're ready to go. You're woke up and excited and pumped up, and we certainly were.
Yeah.
On Saturday.
Well, it's definitely a good trail. I've been on that too, so I think that's awesome. So Emily Paul has been the #1 runner this year. How does she impact the rest of the team? I know she's a very motivated and driven person, so how does that help to impact the rest of the girls' team?
Well, for us, it's really nice to see like what dedication can do, because she's amazing and she wasn't always at that level. So you can see how like she does extra lifting and all sorts of different things, and how that can like push you to be an excellent runner like she is.
Yeah, I mean, Christina's super humble. I mean, she's my 2 girl, and you know, it's the same thing. I mean, most of my runners, you know, weren't just at that level. You know, they started running when they were 12, and they were just amazing. You know, dedication and hard work, you know, and really focusing on the little things has helped out. And you have to have a girl like Emily, and you have to have a girl like Christina if you want to be good, because it pushes the other girls. They see somebody up there, and there's a target. You know, there's somebody to chase after. It's hard for athletes that are very good but have no teammates to chase after. They're sort of going through the motions, doing their own thing. We're really blessed this season with, you know, a multiple of girls that are really, really up there, you know, most meets.
Yeah, that's awesome. So Christina, what do you believe that you have improved on most from last season to this season?
My strength. Coach has been making me lift a lot more and do tour and everything, and that really helps with my confidence. Like, I've been able to learn to be a stronger runner and take more risks than I ever would have last year. So that definitely has helped.
Yeah, I've seen you guys a lot in the weight room. I know that Chad's been helping you guys out with some lifting workouts. How's that been going?
Actually, really well. At first it was a little rough, but now like we start to do the things and they're getting easier and you feel stronger, and it really does help motivate you for the season.
Awesome. So do you have any expectations for the rest of the season as you guys head to regionals?
Yes, actually, like regionals is a really competitive meet, so I really hope that all of our girls will get a PR, which is a personal best, and hopefully make nationals as a team. That would be very nice.
Now, what all teams are going to be at regionals this year?
The region is every school in Wisconsin, Illinois, and Missouri. It's about 55 teams. So
So it's definitely going to be competitive
It's
for
a big
you guys.
one. Yeah, it'll be top 4 or top 5 teams, will make it down to nationals.
Cool, cool. And where's nationals at?
Nationals is in Mason, Ohio. Wilmington College is hosting it, and then regionals is up in Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
Okay, cool, cool. And I know that you run indoor track as well. Any goals that you've set for indoor track?
I'd like to beat my records from last year in the 3K, but I'd actually really like to see how my strength transfers into shorter, more competitive races.
Yeah,
So.
3K indoor. That sounds a little bit rough.
Yeah.
Any pre-game, any pre-running rituals that you have individually?
Yes, actually I'm really into motivating myself during races, so I'll often write what my motivation for the race is on my arms, or have a certain saying and repeat it over and over in my head.
Yeah,
So.
I like the writing down idea. I do that for some of my
Yeah.
goals as well. So I know that team bonding is really big with you guys, especially with you, Coach. So what are some things that you guys do, and how do you think that this impacts the team during the races?
Well, we often do pasta dinners the night before or 2 nights before, and it's just fun. It's kind of like a pre-sleepover, and we just get silly and we'll do hair ribbons and stuff to help motivate us and connect us as a team.
Yeah, sometimes I'll bust out our team theme song, which not every cross country team has a team theme song, and there's some traditions within the teams. Every Monday post race we give out team awards, and there's a Mighty Mug award. You reach in and grab just some corny mug from a Dollar General or something, and then we have team shirts that tend to be pretty silly. I really try to create an atmosphere that is really high on enthusiasm and high on energy and high on just the love of the sport. It is not a very fun sport if you're not having fun. I mean, that's the key thing. Nobody wants to get on a bus, go 4 hours, and throw up unless they're having a great time. It's kind of the trade-off. So we want to keep it fun, but at the same time, keep it competitive. And it's really sort of towing the line between that balance is really what we strive to do, to make sure that our team culture doesn't get in the way of success, but in fact, it allows for more relaxation and more confidence and more success.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely seen you guys all kind of huddled around alumni, so it's cool to hear, and I know I've heard about your awards. So what advice would you guys have for any incoming student athletes for next year?
I would say find your confidence and find it early, because that was something that myself and a lot of our girls struggled with. But if you can find that, you'll be such a better athlete or runner.
Yeah, taking risks is huge for a young athlete. Oftentimes in our sport especially, we have a different sport because the freshmen, they get to hit the playing field, from day one. Mm-hmm. They're not competing for a roster spot. They're not saying, "Hey, coach, look at me," and they're relegated to the bench. Everybody gets an opportunity, so they need to take advantage of that opportunity and really push themselves and see how far they can get their freshman year, and it'll really help set up their sophomore and their junior. And this is a process, and that's how we work.
And with such a big team too, I'm sure it's easy for them to get, kind of into with the team and with the culture of the team and stuff like that. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Coach Chapman and Christina. Good luck to you and the team as you travel to the University of Wisconsin in Oshkosh on November 15th for the regional meet. Before we go, if anyone would like to donate usable sporting goods equipment to the youth at the Hesed House, please contact me at ljohnson08@aurora.edu. Help our fellow student athletes raise awareness around campus about the impact of sports on the troubled youth. That is all the time we have today here on Spartan Spotlight. Tune in next week to hear more about AU athletics. Have a great day.